Kani gadega Patisi TV, bat pidang pej yaki kubor baman kasni.
Ïewduh kabah hakani kanong ba silong, kalong kawai ni Ïewduh kabapawnam, bat kabalarim tam hakani kariluam kasi ba jentia, mentaka kanti lese kan sanang kampau susu, leng ba kajing simkia jong ba Pradip kurba, ubolong wai ni kinong na Phlim bapau kajala, ubalaring dor yakani Ïewduh, kanang manra ikanam kuburom jongani Ïewduh, tang sabar kajala, Henry wat sabar kari India hiru kumjo. Hakajing keren bat kinong patai kubor, henne kasngi ka karsau turik ujemang hapo Shillong Press Club, uba Pradip kurba ulai to, bala ringdor bat pensong nong rem yaka Phlim ka bala kerteng Ïewduh, halor kajing em jong kinong song yo, ki baju em man la kasngi hakani Ïewduh, ka baju tnam ba ka khayi pateng haboro sisnam nunter. Katkum kajing to jong ba Pradip kurba, yaka Phlim Ïewduh ladap ringdor na dong sedong, leng ba kajing kersan lang jong usankar lal goenka. Ubolong producer jong ni ka Phlim bat kapor kabala pelot hakabaring dor yaka kala simpor arpulai sngi nakalyang ba Pradip kurba ulai Khublei kerpangru yaka office jong usiem ka hima melem bat yaki menteri ka hima melem ki bala ai ka Nongkyrshan ban penolong yaka ni ka Phlim kumbala angnot.
Basically, when we talk about this film Ïewduh, we talk about everyday people, like when we talk about these everyday people, like normally those everyday people, they are hero to someone or the other. So the basic idea of making this film is like, we talk about a different kind of human relationship in the film, like, a different kind of relationship, what kind of relationship the people in the market they share, and what kind of relationship of those people who stays in the market, like, So that's all Ïewduh all about, because most of the people, they had this misconception that, oh, maybe we're making a documentary. It's not a documentary. Ïewduh is a character in itself in this film, like.
If I could add on to that point, this film also, like, what it talks about is basically, besides the relationships, we look at Ïewduh as a space, but there's so much life in it that we neglect, that we don't see, and this film kind of captures that. It captures this essence, that is Ïewduh. That's why it's a character in itself, and we hope to kind of portray that through the film.
And there are lots of things also people were talking, they were asking me about it, like, there are lots of negativity that happens inside the market, which we totally ignored in this film. The reason behind it that I purposely did that, because I didn't want it to take to shoot, because I'm going to send the film to different festivals outside the state, and I didn't want to focus on this negativity of the market, let's look into the positive aspect of the market. So I didn't want to show all those things which happen in the market. Yeah, subtly I did keep few of the sequences where yes, there is something negativity that's happening, but I didn't focus much on that. I focused more on the kind of the relationship that the people they share inside the market.
Again, it's fast forward.
Maybe there's a small attempt by making this film to regain back that glory. That's a small attempt.
If I could add on to that point, like you said, we talk about, even though we kind of, avoid this negativity, as people assume there to be there. There's also a lot of hope, and there's hope in relationships and how people help each other. In that way, we're trying to kind of do that through the film. And that in our own way, we're trying to show that, that at the end of the day, it's us who can change. It's we who can make that, who can take that initiative to do better with our lives. And it's just because there's a space that, people assume to have negativity, that doesn't mean it doesn't have hope.
The character of Albert, he's playing in it is like, he's a person who collects money outside the toilet. The main protagonist playing that character. So now why he playing that character? When people see in the film, they'll come to know about it. And we were lucky enough, we have Mr. Shankarlal Goenka, who is there, to produce this film for us, because we had a very tough time, while doing this film. There are lots of things that we're still lagging in it, but sometimes, see, as Sir being a producer himself, he knows, I think the audience are still shying away to come forward to watch Khasi films. Until unless we don't have that kind of audience who comes forward to watch film, then the growth of Khasi cinema will take time. I know we are still in a very nascent stage, but I also look into that we should not just depend on more on our state. We should start making films to look beyond Meghalaya also. That's very important. Take the film outside the state is very important. Like my last film Unata, I did manage to took the film all over the places. And luckily now Unata is there on Netflix. So maybe there is some opening to it, so we expect the same with this film also, at the same time. Rather than focus more on our state, I think we should start look beyond the state also,
So why do you think people are still shying away?
That is very tricky. That still we are wondering. Maybe the content, I think the kind of cinema that it's coming, maybe because of that.
So when are you releasing it, or are you already releasing this film?
No, we are still the post-production. We will focus more on festivals. Maybe after that, we have a couple of festivals on lineup. We'll first focus on those film festivals, then only we'll come to the stage, release it here.
I think I could answer that the best because so I'm part of the line production team, and the most difficult was the crowd, because like you just see a camera, it appeals to them, they get curious. Obviously, they get curious and they want to know what's happening, and sometimes they would walk into the frame, and it was very difficult. It was amazing also, like, to be able to talk to them, to get a feel, because they're just simply curious, and it was basically that, a lot of crowd control. But like I said, we're really thankful to the people in the Ïewduh, like the shopkeepers from all the bazaars. They really helped us in like achieving like what we aimed for, what we had intended to. We were able to really acquire that, and I'm really thankful to that. It's the main problem that we had.
What is the message that you want to send by making this film called Ïewduh?
See, if you talk about the message out here, is like there was no intention of making a film to put across any message in this. I'll keep it very. It'll be a very open kind of a thing where like let the people take it on their own. Like what kind of message we're trying to put across, because it has multiple stories in the film. It's not the story of just particular character. There are multiple stories in the film.
Yeah, Albert, how did you get into the character? And as you performed up again, how did you mentor these actors?
Actually, being an actor, I always thought that I was good enough. Whatever movies I've done, I thought I was good enough. But when I met Lapdiang and Lapdiang being a mentor, she has helped us a lot in molding our characters. So I'm thankful to Lapdiang for whatever I've done, and hope whatever I've done in this movie, you will see the changes in it.
I think from speaking from an actor's mentor, one of the things that I learned about working with this film is because they had very interesting characters, and one thing that really stood out was, as Pradip had said, the relationship that develops within these characters. And one of the things with acting was to make sure these characters were very comfortable in their body language, and all these actors, they have to get used to the space of what Ïewduh is, and it's a chaotic space. It's a space that life happens all the time. So how do these actors also get used to that life, get used to that, how busy the market is? And training with Albert, Denver, and all these characters was also a learning process for me, to see how it wasn't for me to tell them, okay, you need to develop these skills, but it was really to try and make everything as natural as possible, try and make all their characters come out as naturally, and it wasn't something that I was giving them from outside, but to really draw out what they had from within. And the script gave a lot of scope for the development of all these characters to happen, and as we had mentioned, the relationships that take place, and so yeah, it was a very interesting process, and challenging but also worthwhile.